Welcome to 120 Lavin Street, the headquarters of the Rhode Island Association of Realtors. Some of you may remember me. I am Ron Phipps. I was one of the past presidents of the Rhode Island Association of Realtors, and I have the distinct pleasure today of introducing something that is really a significant game changer in the industry. And let me give you a little bit of background. This industry has undergone, in the course of 100 years, major changes. When we started out, it was what was called a broker-centric model. So in 1900, the brokers called the shots. And from 1900 to about 1972, it remained a broker-centric model in which all of the sales agents worked for the brokers. In 1972, it became an agent-centric model. What happened in 1972? Okay, I know there's a RE/MAX person here. So RE/MAX started and really introduced something that there had been several other initial examples of the agent-centric model. And the agent-centric model ran rather effectively until about 2000. And in 2000, what happened? Okay, this is the interactive part. I know it's 9 o'clock, and you guys are here, so I gotta get you to talk with us. What happened in 2000?
The internet came in.
The internet came in, but specifically, Bill, what was so important about the internet coming in that was a big change?
It became consumer-centric.
It was consumer-centric. And what happened in 2000, and 2000 is kind of the bellwether year in which all of a sudden the consumers had the listing data. They knew what was on the market. Up until that point, how many of you actually remember the MLS books? Oh, good, a good number of you. So we used to have these books that looked like 2 volumes of an old phone book. And we were fined a lot of money if we shared that. But we actually had control of the data of what was actually on the market. Wow, that is not the way it is now. So 2000, the consumers got the listing data. Fast forward about 2010, 2011, we went to a different revolution that was really called the big data or wearable data. And what talk about in that particular realm is all of a sudden the data was driving the decisions, and the ability to manipulate the data and do wild things with it became very, very apparent. At the same time, there in this industry was huge consolidation of listing data and raw information, all put in the consumer's hands. Now, as we move through this process, the role of the realtor had remained fairly constant. Originally, we were salespeople. In the course of 120 years, we became trusted advisors. One of the things that became very apparent to the leadership team at the National Association of Realtors is that if we are going to be valued by the consumer, and if the consumer is willing to compensate us, we need to make certain that the consumer has our best advice, our trusted advice, and our expertise. That's a real challenge. And one of the things we realized is that in the industry, that there's a wide range of experience and knowledge, and the consumer doesn't have a way to figure that out. The consumer can see who has a lot of listings, but they don't necessarily know who is the best and the brightest in the market. So in 2013, the leadership team of NAR said, we need to talk about what the Realtor of the future is going to be. So they put together a PAG, which is a presidential advisory group, a big one, of about 25 people with all of the best resources of the entire 1.1 million member association, and said, what do we need to do? And what became very apparent in the conversation is that the consumers are going to start comparing us the way they compare houses. So right now, if the consumer wants to look, and whether it's houses or cars or restaurants, the consumer wants to review what the performance is. And as an industry, we have not made that easy. It also was very apparent that some of the large non-realtor organizations are going to be doing that and doing that in an aggressive way. And we said, well, shouldn't we educate the consumer as to how they would best be able to make that determination? That's what brought us today. So for the last actually in November of 2014, the 800-member board of directors made a decision to allow what we call professional profiles, or what has been called inappropriately agent ratings. That was a huge leap of faith, and for 800 realtors, and almost the vast majority of them agreed to do that, was truly courageous. And the reason it was is because it's going to impact our members in a real way. In Rhode Island, we have just over 4,000 members. 2,000 of our members didn't sell a single house in 2014. Want to do that one again? 2,000 of our members did not sell a single house in 2014. Now, in fairness, some are property managers, some are appraisers, etc. But I've still got 1,500 or 1,600 that are marginally in the business. And the consumer scene is really frustrating to me to figure out who's good and who's not good. And when the range of compensation also doesn't reflect expertise, it's really, really frustrating. So in January of this past year, the National Association of Realtors, in cooperation with Realtor.com Move, went ahead and set together a work group to say, we want to create a professional profile that the consumer can search. So for the last 9 months, that project has been working, and literally on the 30th of September, it was introduced. We are excited you are here today because you really didn't know what you were coming to, and you didn't know that what you're about to see in terms of presentation is radical, it is wild, and it is going to be a big game changer. And for a lot of our members, it's going to be very difficult because if they haven't sold anything or they're not actively engaged in the business, it's going to be very difficult for them to compete against the individuals and the teams that are. But at the end of the day, we as an industry had to be more transparent because the consumer expects it, requires it, and values it. That's what brings us here. We are also particularly excited about the fact that it is our brand, the Realtor.com site, that's going to have the best site with the best technology, that's going to be the easiest for the consumers to use, and it's going to be the most comprehensive. That's wow, wow, and wow. There's one other footnote that the Realtor.com people will not tell you that I will tell you. For many, many years, our site was the #1 consumer site in the country. And then there have been some other sites that came along and captured the consumer's imagination. What we are really excited about is this is the second step of Realtor.com capturing the majority of the consumers and creating the best value for the consumers that actually generates business for us. I want you to think about that. They are truly a partner in this project. These are days of real change. Do not be afraid. Do not be overwhelmed. Take advantage of the fact that Rhode Island is one of 2 first movers. So our profiles, our sites, our work are going to be literally the ones that the rest of the country looks at. So there's an opportunity, if you do your site really well and show some of your best properties, that when the Realtor.com people are showing it in Oklahoma or Arkansas, you can show awesome waterfront, and maybe we can get a referral and sell business. Oh, you're supposed to laugh at that. I know it's early. I know it's early. But what I want you to be very much aware of is these are great times. Do not be overwhelmed, and know that our partner really is a partner on this. And I am particularly excited about the fact that we've identified the elements that the consumer can make an informed decision on how we can be compared. An informed decision. It's not the person who buys the biggest banner or the biggest column. The consumer's going to be able to literally look and see, here's what they do, here's what the recommendations are, here's what the ratings are. Now, you shouldn't be afraid of that if you're doing great work. If you're new, we have some really cool things that will work. If you're a team, we've covered it. Now, I'm not going to take any more of your time because the experts are here to show you what it's going to be and what it's going to feel like. But pay attention, because this is like learning to drive again. And at the end of the day, the consumer is paying much more attention to the recommendations and the ratings than they've ever done before. Now, some of you may be able to rely upon exclusively fast business and past business, but the majority of us need those recommendations to get new business, new customers, and new clients. So be proud that you're wearing the Realtor R. Be proud of the fact that we are going to be a first mover in the space, and be proud of the fact that the tool that we're presenting today is a great tool. One caveat, it's not perfect. There will be some things that we want to polish. So when you use it, if you see things that can be improved, there's a whole system to do that reporting. Please take advantage of that. There is no such thing as a perfect realtor. There's no such thing as a perfect transaction. There's no such thing as a perfect website. But there is a better, best site. And that's the one that you're going to see today. And without further delay, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. You actually have an advantage over the 4,000 other realtors in Rhode Island because you're here this morning. And that's pretty wise. Without further delay, Christy is going to actually do the presentation from here out. I get to turn this out, and then she's going to be followed.
Oh, don't worry, I'll get that for you.
Thank you. All right. Good.
Ron, thank you. Fantastic overview. What a great overview. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, happy Friday.
Happy
Woohoo! You made it in the weather. My name is Christy Keneally, and thank you, Ron, again. And I am a national speaker with Realtor.com, and I am super, super excited to be here today to go over your new Realtor.com agent profile and congratulate you as being early adopters. You can say today you're an early adopter. Woohoo! So we're going to go into a lot of detail today. If you can, please hold your questions until we get into the more detailed part of the presentation. I'm going to give you a general overview, and then my friend and colleague Bob Evans is going to go into more detail. So hang in there with me, because I know you're going to have questions, but let us get through some of this material, and then I promise we are going to get into the weeds today. But a little background on me, just so you all know. I am not a tech guru. I am not a former realtor, but I am a former Broadway dancer. Woo! I got woo! Perfect qualification. Are some of you, what's that, jazz hands? That's right. Are some of you a little panicked? Maybe? Yeah, really? We came to a tech rollout and they brought a dancer, and really? If it makes you feel any better, I did run 2 different marketing departments for 2 different technology companies in the mortgage and real estate industry after the Broadway career. So we're going to be fine today. We're going to be fine. But I wanted you to know I do come from a consumer point of view, and that's how I'm going to be presenting this to you today. So anyway, with that, let's make sure you understand that feedback is what we're looking for today and ongoing. We are looking to continuously improve because we do want to deliver the best online reputation management platform that we possibly can for you. So thank you, Rhode Island, for being progressive and being tech savvy and for being chosen for this program. So good on you, as my grandma would say. Good on you. All right, so we're going to talk about cultivating your reputation in this digital world. And we're going to talk about this Realtor.com solution that works for you to improve your visibility, to enhance your brand, and build trust with consumers. So what will we cover today between myself and Bob? We're going to talk about the importance of your online reputation. How are people finding you? What happens if I Google your name? What's going on there? And then, as you know, Rhode Island specifically has been selected as a beta state for the all-new Realtor.com profile. We will show you that today in a lot of detail. There's a brand new Find a Realtor search. Yay! On Realtor.com. I will show you that. Way improved and innovative. And next, the brand new Real Ratings system. It's proprietary. Ron's already given you a hint of what that's going to be. We'll go into some detail. I'll show you some detail. Bob's going to go into more detail. And then we promise you, you will know your next steps today. What can you do today while we are here? We have VIP Concierge Service for you. We've got Joe and Sam and Ashley here. All of us will jump on computers with you if we need to today to help you claim your profile and get started. So we'll also give you channels for feedback, whether it's email or a phone number or even more. We've got more in store for that. So please know we are counting on your opinions throughout this process. Okay, so Why are reviews and recommendations online so important? Well, because 90% of us trust them more than advertisements, right? Don't you? I mean, think about it. I trust my friends Terry, Mary, Audrey, and Lynn, and then I trust my brother and sister, but then I go online. Don't you? Right? We all go online to look at recommendations and reviews. Whether I'm looking for a new baseball bat for my 11-year-old, or I'm looking at my husband's surgeon. He just tore 3 out of his 4 rotator cuff muscles. Ooh, I know, right? But I looked up his doctor, don't think I didn't, and I looked at what he had to say. We do this, whether it's for something as small as an Amazon purchase to something as important as a real estate professional, an attorney, a doctor, right? You, I am sure, check online reviews. If you were to go look for a book review or buy a book, where would you go? Where do you all go? Amazon, right, it's clear winner, right? I do wish I could stay in Rhode Island tonight and go to a nice dinner. If I could stay tonight, what app would I use to find a restaurant that suits my wants and needs? Yelp. Clear winner, right? Okay, hotels. Where would I go for a hotel review? What do you think if I was going to stay in Rhode Island and I just didn't know? TripAdvisor, but hotels.com? Not as clear, right? There's not a clear winner yet. Where do we go for Realtor reviews? Right? No clear winner. As Ron suggested, Realtor.com is bound and determined to become the #1 destination for consumers like me to find realtors like you. There is land to be claimed here, and Realtor.com is working very, very hard to make that happen. Okay, so what I want to suggest to you, though, is there is time for you to pull your online reputation together and to pull your agent profiles together. Yes, we want you to do a lot today, but I want you to see a survey, a question from the NAR 2014 profile of home buyers and sellers. They asked, what percentage of buyers, people like me, used online recommendations for realtors? What do you think? How many people, what percentage of people like me use reviews or recommendations to look you up? What do you all think? What percentage?
10. 40.
10.
40.
40, 65, 80? It's actually only 19%. Now, that's last year. That's a year ago. Lots and lots has changed since then. I've changed my own behavior as a consumer since then. They asked this question in the same survey a year ago. How many more would consider using realtor reviews the next time? Well, now the numbers start to change, right? So no doubt we're going to see some up and up and up trending because this was a year ago. This is all good news. Now, if that's not enough, we went to Google Trends. Do you all know how to use Google Trends? It's free, if you want to write that down as a free tip from today. Google Trends, you can type in any set of keywords or key phrases and see how they're trending on Google. So we typed in realtor reviews, and look, since 2006-ish, since Google's been tracking this stuff, just look at the amount of times, or the tracking of people typing in realtor reviews on Google. There's interest there. It's going up and up and up. Now, if that's not enough, I've got more. This is a survey from T3 Experts. They're a training company. And they asked agents, teams, and brokers, how would you rate the ease of conversion of leads from reviews, recommendations, and ratings? How easy is it to convert someone like me if I've read a review? Well, they found that 70% said these leads are either relatively easy to convert or very easy to convert. Why? Why am I easy to convert if I've seen your recommendations or reviews online? What do you think?
You're looking for it.
I'm looking for that, but I'm also likely seeing some positive information about you, and we're off to the right start from the get-go. Make sense? Okay, so I want to switch gears a little bit here for just a second. I'm going to talk about Google a lot. Google. I'm going to say it a lot. All right, who here uses Google Alerts? Oh, only about half the room. I want everyone. It's another free tip. This isn't Realtor.com. This is Google, but why not? Let me give you guys a free tip today. Google Alerts. Do you want to know when someone has posted your name online and said something about you? Absolutely, right? Google will automatically notify you if your name has been posted online, whether it's in an article or a review or a recommendation or whatever the case may be. You want to know that. Certainly because if something positive has been said, you can thank that person. So what do? You go to Google, search alerts, and you'll find Google Alerts, right? You have to have a Gmail account though, okay? And then go in there and plug in your name. You want to be notified if anyone uses your name. Now, if you have an unusual name, awesome, great, but if your name happens to be Joe Smith, then you're going to need to help Google out a little bit. So say Joe Smith, Warwick, Rhode Island. Joe Smith, Realtor, Providence, Rhode Island. You get where I'm going with this. Just be a little more specific. Now, Google Alerts is unlimited, so why stick with just your name? If you're a member of a team or the lead of a team, would you like to know what's being said about team members? Sure. They won't know, right? You can plug in team members, the name of your brokerage. How about your biggest competitors? Why not be notified as to what's going on with them, right? Your local market. You can type in local Warwick real estate news, or if there's something going on with any development in the area. Why not? That's great content for you. So anyway, a free tip on Google Alerts and being alerted when something's been said about you online. Google, Google, Google. I'm not done talking about Google. What I'm about to tell you is very, very important. If you're me and you go to Google right now, let's just say I've seen your for sale sign, or a just sold sign, or a bus bench ad, or my friend Mary told me about you because she had a great experience with you. Whatever. If I go to Google and type in your name, or specifically if I type in your name plus the word realtor, your Realtor.com profile will likely be the #1 or #2 search result on Google. Was anyone aware of this? It's really powerful. What does this mean? People like me are not only going to find you easily, but we're going to go to your Realtor.com profile. This is why you have to get it filled out. So let me just make sure you understand this. Realtor.com is a top-ranked search result. 70% of agent profile traffic is from organic search. Just me typing in your name on Google. That's what most of us do. And if I add the word realtor to your name, chances are good it's going to be the #1 search result. If I don't have the word realtor in there, I will bet you dollars to donuts that it will be on the first page, maybe even within the first 4 links. This is very important for you to understand. This is how people are going to find your Realtor.com profile. Realtor.com and NAR have done the work together to make sure this happens when someone searches for you on Google. Everyone with me still? Really important idea to know. Okay, now, when I click on your link, your profile link, I want to see this profile right here on the left. We're going to go into this detail. We're spending a lot of time today, don't worry. We'll talk about what this is and what's involved. But I want to see a filled out profile with a photo, bio information, designations, etc. versus this one on the right, which is not filled out and looks a little like unsolved mysteries, right? Not good, but we're going to work on this today and we're going to get these profiles filled out because this is a big difference for the consumer in terms of my experience with you, okay? So we definitely want to work towards that. Now what else is another, I would say #1 reason to fill out your profile on Realtor.com? More consumers find their agent on Realtor.com than on any other site, period. That is from the NAR survey last year. More people like me find folks like you on Realtor.com. So we want to get those profiles filled out. And here's how we stack up with the other guys. In case you want to see how we stack up with Zillow, Trulia, and Homes, Realtor.com is the destination for folks looking for realtors. So that's all good news. Okay, so what do you get with this beta program? What is going on? Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about how this works for any realtor at any level in their career. You're gonna promote your personal brand. You're gonna showcase your trustworthiness and expertise. You're gonna make a great first impression because this is gonna look awesome on tablets and cell phones besides the desktop. It's responsive. That's great because are more people going here these days? My whole life is on this thing right now. Yes, so this is what you're going to get. We're gonna break it down, I promise you, we're gonna break it way down today. Who are my listing agents in the room? Most of the room, awesome. You are going to increase your visibility for your experience, your certifications, and your local knowledge. And a lot of this is going to be transaction-based, activity-based, as Ron already indicated. Who are my buyer's agents in the room? Awesome, great, great, great. Showcase your areas of expertise and your specialty and display recent buyer closings where provided by the MLS. Again, we're going to start showing activity. Do I have any new agents in the room? Yay! Congratulations. Don't worry. Please don't worry. Don't worry. You're going to be okay. You guys are going to be okay. You get to show off your professionalism, and I want you to write this down with recommendations. Recommendations are where you're going to focus today. Recommendations can be from friends, family, anyone who's worked with you that thinks you're awesome, okay? They're different than ratings, which I'm going to get to in a minute, I promise. Agents with the mix, you're going to display past transactional data for both sales and listings sold when provided by the MLS. And do I have any team members here? Awesome, great, fantastic. We are accounting now for teams. You're going to, I love this, leverage your power with individual bios. So there's going to be a setup process for teams, specific to teams. So that's great, great news. So how does this help? How is this all going to help you? Well, let me give you yet one other statistic. 50% of people like me who use recommendations say it influenced their choice in agents. Once again, according to NAR's survey. So it matters. It influences me. Have you all heard the term, the wisdom of crowds? That's what they call it now. When you go online and you read review after review after review, it's the wisdom of crowds. It's the new word of mouth. It's just online. We like the wisdom of crowds online. Okay, I'm kind of excited because now we're going to get to the actual stuff. The new Find a Realtor beta search. This is innovative. This is really exciting. So let's all pretend we're me for a second. You're all 5 feet tall, and you play Peter Pan, and your feet don't hurt yet in these shoes. We're all okay so far. All right, so I'm at Find a Realtor on Realtor.com. Okay, I want to look for agents in Warwick, Rhode Island. So I type in Warwick, Rhode Island. At this time, it defaults to a new list view, and this is important. This is not an alphabetical list anymore. This is based on recent activity. That is updated every 15 minutes. Did everyone get that? No more alphabet, because consumers, I don't want that anymore. You don't want that anymore. We want me to be able to find you because I have search criteria. I have things in mind that I want in order to find you. So I can search for you based on designations, different languages you speak, or what a language I need for you to speak. Your number of reviews, that's coming soon. Number of recommendations, that's coming. Are you a buyers and sellers agent, or do you just work with buyers? Do you just work with sellers? I want agents with photos. There's a number of different ways for me to whittle down my list of realtors, but it's not going to be alphabetical anymore. The other view I have is a map-based view, and this is really cool for you and for me. I can actually look at a map of Warwick, and I'm not joking, literally see your faces on the map. The pins represent for sale. The red pins, the black pins represent sold. If you see two faces, that's both sides of the transaction. Everyone with me? And I can drill in, and this right side rail changes as I drill in, but I can see the active realtors in the area. Now, for my newer agents, on the previous slide, you can appear here as well as long as you say you serve the area. right? So it's gonna be fine for new agents as well. But this is really cool stuff because now I can go in as a consumer, I can zoom in, I can sort, filter, I can look at active listings, sold listings, and bottom line, drill down to the realtors I want to look at and go to your profile. Does this make sense to you all? This is brand new. There's nothing like this right now, but Rhode Island has it today, okay? Now, I like this, the power of the Realtor.com profile. I want to show you some detail of your profile because we're going to fill them out today. For those of you that can do it and stay, this is what we're going to work on. You're going to make a great first impression because, as I mentioned, this is responsive in terms of design. Your profile will look great whether I look at you here, whether I look at you there, whether I look on my kid's laptop or my kid's iPad. You're going to look terrific. Now, let's break it down a little bit. You're going to promote your brand with NAR and MLS credentials, personal recommendations, which can come from colleagues, friends, and family members. Showcase your expertise because we're going to display recent sales on the listing and buy side. We get the data from the MLS, right? This is all going to be about activity and transactions. And now you're going to be able to present credible client reviews with the new Real Ratings system. And I will show you that in some detail. Just give me a moment to get there. So this is the first third of your page. You got this nice cover photo, your headshot, and right there is the rating 5-star system right there. This is the bio, your designations are in here, your years in the business. There's all kinds of questions that you will be asked to fill out your profile, and it will populate this page. When I scroll down, I see your listing activity for sales, solds, and then I see a timeline of your listings. And at the bottom, I'm going to see reviews and recommendations. By the way, with recommendations, you can also upload video testimonials. Just keep that in mind because everyone loves video. Okay, so with that, I'm going to now explain the Real Ratings system. This is brand new, very different from anyone else in the industry. Okay, the Real Ratings are qualified, transaction-based feedback from actual clients. So you will get ratings from clients who have had a closed transaction with you. Not someone who just met you at the store or no, these are not random experiences, but these reviews are based on a full experience, someone you've closed a transaction with. You follow me? It's quite different. Not anybody, not just anybody can write a review on you. Very different than the rest of the world. So ratings and reviews are only accepted from clients with closed transactions. That's it. There's a verification process. Coming soon, you will have the ability to respond directly to every rating and review. And it's the only rating system that meets NAR guidelines. This one's it. This one is it. So let me try to recap a little bit here. You're going to promote your personal brand with your agent profile. You're going to showcase your trustworthiness and expertise because we're going to have these real ratings, and we're going to see transaction activity. And you're going to make this great first impression because this is going to look awesome on mobile devices. The Real Rating system is something we're going to go into more detail with Bob, so we'll understand that even better. But again, these are about closed transactions. And as I mentioned, you will have the ability to respond to these ratings and reviews. So why should I do this? Why should I participate in this beta? Does everyone remember the Google search and how you're going to come up? Super important. I'm going to find you if I search for you on Google. If I type in your name and the word realtor, probably the #1 search result. That's one reason. Second reason, over 1 million monthly searches happen on Realtor.com for realtors. 1 million people like me every month we go looking for realtors on Realtor.com. It's the #1 place people go to find realtors. And you want to promote that personal brand, promote that expertise, that trustworthiness, have something that looks great on all devices, and experience a real rating system that is equitable and fair for everybody. Okay? Now, your takeaways from today, before we take a small break, and then Bob's going to come up here, and we're getting hands-on, everybody. Hands-on, we're going to ask questions, but we're going to do some of the work today. You're gonna claim your profile, hopefully within the next half hour. That's gonna get done. You're gonna upload your photo and add information. I almost want you to take an oath that you're gonna at least put your photo in today. Because if your photo's not in there, it's not good, right? Ron's like, it's not good. In fact, you will not be found in some areas of this new program. Did everyone hear that? Get your photos on today, right? Use mine if you don't have yours today. I'm kidding. Let's get your photo and we'll find a way to get that photo in today. And get recommendations and reviews. Let me be really clear about your priorities. My agents with experience who have been in the business a while, you're going to focus on ratings and reviews today. Understand that part of the system. My newer agents, I want you to focus on recommendations today. Everyone with me? So you have a sense of priority. This can be a little bit overwhelming, I know, but that's where we want to be. Okay, with that, there will be a feedback system. You don't need to write all of this down. We've got information right over here that has the Realtor.com agent profile page to go to. We're covering that today, don't worry about it. You're gonna have lots of paperwork with the phone number to call if you need help or you wanna give us feedback and tell us what you think. There will also be an email address that you can send information, feedback to us at any time. Phone number, and also I believe there's a closed Facebook group that you're gonna be invited to. Ooh, right, yeah. We want your feedback, no joke. We really want your feedback and we want to partner with you in this and make this work for Rhode Island as the beta program. So, do you all feel like you learned something kind of new and cool today?
Yes.
Yes, awesome. We are going to take a quick 5-minute break, and then my colleague Bob Evans is going to come up here. You're going to pull up your devices, your laptops, your iPads, your whatever, and we're going to get to work. Make sense? Yes. Sound good?
Yes.
Thank you.